and welcome to another episode of Between Sisters. I am Chaya, your host, and I am here with my host, my sisters, all of L's kids. Well, not all L's kids.
I was gonna say.
But the same face kids. First in with the door knockers, Shanah Dawn. And next in, around the way girl with her Black Lives Matter on, EVE. We got what we do best today, and I think this is a great topic for us. Is movies, entertainment, entertainment in church.
Oh God. Oh God.
So, first topic is, y'all didn't understand that Mermaids wasn't black? So, apparently, all over social media and the news trending on Twitter, and I didn't know that, well, number one, that Mermaids was real. And number two, that Mermaids wasn't black. Because Sebastian, the crab,
A crab who talks
from Trinidad,
right
under the sea.
I was about to start saying no, but
You know, that wasn't far-fetched. But the fact that Halle is the mermaid, that's far-fetched. And go.
Go ahead.
No. I wait. I got a list. So
Got a list.
You go first.
Okay, go ahead.
Because like I'm such a Disney person, you know, I love my characters and everything. I think I was only thrown off because of the fact that you expect it to be like the original, like automatically you go, oh, okay. But then at the same time, I'm just like, we had Cinderella, we had Brandy as Cinderella.
Who killed it?
And first of all, it was a whole mixture cast.
No, Whoopi,
Black
Whoopi,
mother, and a white man could make an Asian.
Filipinos
Can make an Asian. So if that was okay, why can't we have a black Ariel? Who, first of all, killed it. First of all, she took me up. She did that little run. I said, you about to sing me at the table in the movie theater. I said, we all need to be on one accord, and we just all need to go in, and everybody need to sit in their section, soprano, alto, tenor. And we're going to do this. There it goes. Like, we're going to do this in the movie theater, and I'm so excited because I already got chills just by her singing along. So can't wait to see it.
Okay. So this is bigger than just the Little Mermaid.
Right.
This is about, I'm a person who watches Game of Thrones, and now I am into House of the Dragons. So there is now a handsome,
I was literally just Googling his name.
a
I was trying not to
handsome
type
black
in.
man named Steve Toussaint. He is fine.
It's a show I need to watch then?
Well, that's if you're into the Game of Thrones. So it's
I never
like
watched
that.
it.
I never watched it, but I was trying to get into
I-
it just to support him.
Right. So they, of course, he's the first in this world of fiction. Again, I'll say that word. Fiction. He's black. They're okay with the fact that there's incest parts in Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon, but you have an issue with a rich black man in a fantasy story. Then there is Moses Ingram. She is the black actress in the new Star Wars show on Disney Plus. Of course, it airs. She starts to receive like hate upon hate upon hate. To where Star Wars had to make a statement to say that there are 20 million species in the Star Wars galaxy. Don't choose to be a racist.
No, racist is not one of those species.
Racist is not a species in Star Wars. So, to go back to where it started, now we have a mermaid. The last time I checked, mermaids weren't real, but
they acting like she playing like Hillary Clinton,
but
Yeah.
like or Hitler. Like they acting like.
But they're silent on all the times a white person
Played a
played
person
a person of
of
color.
color.
Al Pacino was
He was amazing.
but he's not Latinx
He's not Cuban.
at all.
Say hello to my little friend. He's not Cuban. Scarface, he is not Cuban.
Angelina Jolie, she played a black woman.
Brad Pitt played the Mexican. Gerard Butler played Gods of Egypt.
Y'all
We
think
can go down the
Down
list.
the line.
We can
No.
go up and down the list.
It just goes to show you that they don't want us to even exist in fiction and fantasy.
y'all think Jesus is white?
The man that played Jesus in the
Which
Passion
one?
of
Oh, Passion of the
Christ
Christ?
was a white man. So it's like stopping. I say all the time, y'all got too much time on your hands to sit down and want to write a racist tweet or an Instagram post about a mermaid being black. Girl, bye. But the thing is, the cartoon is
Was the
still there.
But it's a cartoon.
I know. It's a cartoon. Yes, I- But it's still there. It has not gone. It's still there.
You can
So
still watch it.
Exactly.
You don't want to
It's not
watch
going
it. You don't have to
anywhere.
watch
You
it.
don't have to watch it.
But we have so many instances in that are fact-based. This is not opinions.
Right.
Where we can go in history from when cinema started
Mm-hmm.
to where white actors
Mm-hmm.
played actual roles of real people,
Mm-hmm.
people that lived, that walked the earth,
They put on
and put on blackface.
Right.
So, somebody said,
Shirley Temple did that.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Somebody said that's probably one of the black ancestors that y'all threw overboard in slavery and
I
found.
know.
You know, and she came up a beautiful.
And okay, but she's talented.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It's
She
not like
can sing anybody under the rug.
I can
So
see
it's
if
just
she
like-
came up because the director, they said when she came and she auditioned,
Right.
they was all blown away. They were all blown away. They was just like
he
this.
was like, I don't want to see nobody else.
Can really,
And she was the first
sing.
person to audition and set the bar that high.
She can really sing. And isn't that a huge piece?
That isn't that what you look for?
Is talent? Oh, okay.
Like, I mean, and I'm not trying to be like combative. Well, maybe I am. Yeah, maybe I am. But isn't that what you look for? Like as a director, as a filmmaker, like when you see somebody and you have something in your mind of what you want to put on screen, and then that person comes and they're just like, no matter what they look like, and you close your eyes and that person opens their mouth, and you like hear heaven.
I'm just saying, like, it's 2022. Like,
but the fact that we can't even be fiction and fantasy, it's Disney. They've done talking teapots. It's like, stop it.
I never saw my teapot move.
Exactly. Like,
I never saw it.
And did.
I never went to Red Lobster. I never went to Red Lobster. And like, Lobster never spoke to me at Red Lobster.
My candelabra.
But you know what?
Sing every time I come down.
I like Disney, but I never really watched The Little Mermaid.
I didn't either.
Because I had boys.
Yeah, right. So
I had boys.
Right.
So Chris
up.
wasn't into that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we grew up in my household.
Like Shrek. I can tell you every word of Shrek.
Cut me deep, Shrek.
I can tell you every word of Shrek. But like the princess movies and stuff like that, I don't know.
I love.
Like even the first Black Disney princess, I don't know that movie either. Because
the Princess and the Frog.
Yeah, I don't know that either.
And not for nothing though.
Tiana.
If they make Tiana white, I'm gonna be pissed.
But see, it's different because now they're saying, well, what if we made Black Panther white? And it's just like, but Black Panther is integral to being.
But isn't Black Panther from Africa?
Yes. So
or are they saying that Black Panther is like a Charlize Theron?
So he has to be Black.
But see, and this is that reverse racism crap that people be trying to talk. Like, see, this
they always gonna come up.
This is that.
They realize the voices of most of the characters in The Lion King were Black.
First of all,
most of them were Black.
Filling our voices.
Madge Sinclair.
Yes.
James Earl Jones.
Yes.
Like
Sarabi.
Rest in peace, Madge. Like, come on.
And I think they just mad because we're gonna do it better.
Listen.
And it
first of all,
cartoon.
Rest in peace. I don't like to talk bad about the dead, but Elizabeth Taylor as Cleopatra.
Wow.
Come on, and don't try to tell me that Cleopatra was white
with blue eyes.
I don't care how you try to change the map around. Egypt has always been and will always be a part of Africa. I don't care how much climate change and global warming go on. Egypt is in Africa.
It's just, I really believe these people have no life. Like, they ain't got no friends. They ain't got no friends. They ain't got no friends. We
literally, think about this. Because one thing I could say, when Cinderella came out with Brandy, that was my movie. When, listen, like, what's my man, who said, Charlamagne said the only queens he recognized is Aretha Franklin. Who he said? Aretha Franklin. He said somebody else.
And Billy Porter.
When Billy Porter said impossible. Listen, when Whitney Houston came out as the fairy godmother, baby.
But you also have to think back to that time. We weren't in the social media age where
all of the hate,
people like had a
I miss
platform
Whitney so much.
to
With
say,
Yeah.
you know, to say.
Yeah, we would read about it in the papers.
Right, yeah, but it wasn't like, you know, over and over and over again each day.
You tell me anybody on earth that could have did a better fairy godmother than Whitney Houston. Whitney the Houston. They can't do somebody else on the other. Well, somebody. This one will do a better job than Halle. Who?
Well, they'll try to say
who?
Ariana Grande or somebody. Like they'll say, but she is now older. So it's just like she isn't the same age now as Halle. And then I need them to understand the difference between Halle Berry
and Halle Bailey.
Because they were tweeting saying stuff like, how is Halle Berry playing The Little Mermaid?
Halle Berry probably old. How did I get into it?
Yeah,
I'm over here raising my kids, you know, looking for my new role.
Right, you know? Get into it. Now, what was it? The meme of Nene? She was just like, see how I be brought into it? I was just minding my business.
I need y'all to get the two.
Yo, totally. Every black person is not the same. We all don't look the same
at all.
All right, I need you to put Nene that just popping up like.
How did I get
put that right there?
Who else said that they experienced a lot of backlash when they start in a role? When John Boyega, when he was in Star Wars as one of the first black stormtroopers, took off his helmet and you saw a Negro head, and it was just like.
But that was the first
time. Helmet.
Again, as somebody who watched Star Wars, that's something that really they didn't do. They never really
take off the helmet.
Yeah. So it's just like, so how did y'all not think that in that sea of stormtroopers that I'm sure
like out of the whole Star Wars
I'm sure
universe, that wasn't no Negroidian blood.
Y'all mad at that, but y'all not mad at like a 7-foot Chewbacca thing just making noise.
Like none of that.
You know,
nobody mad at that.
Or Jabba the Hutt. Like they're not mad at Jabba the Hutt.
Jabba the Hutt. And just with girls. Like, how you get a girl? But you know,
they got too much time on their head.
Too much time. Halle is it. She is the mermaid, and we gonna be walking up there with our mermaid skirts on to the movie theater.
You know it is. You know, and because of who she is, done from Grownish.
Yep.
And so that means that she can act. She has been acting since
she was a little girl,
a child.
Yep.
So
she's not new to this. She's not some random. Just because you never seen her on screen doesn't mean that she's new.
Right.
Check her IMDb.
Check her resume.
But we will be at the cookout and at the movie theater. Thank you.
We'll be at after party.
At the after party, mermaid style. But speaking of John Boyega, who only dates black women, and he made that very clear.
Very clear.
Boom, 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 point blank, and the period. That's the type of man I like. Cause you can't be like, you know, and you know what, love who you love. But you can't be like, yeah, for the struggle. You don't understand us. Come here, cold woman. Give me some sugar. You know, I don't get it. But you know, love who you love. Love is love.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, speaking of Johnny, the Woman King has also been making headlines. And some of us melanated people are a little upset because they're saying that the Woman King movie whitewashed history because of the fact that the movie is about the Woman King. Obviously, Viola Davis plays in it, and John Boyega also plays in it, and they represent a tribe that was active, and they showed it in the movie. They were very active in the transatlantic slave trade, and they sold human beings into slavery. They sold human beings to white slave traders. So they were some of the ones that we spoke about in one of the past shows, you know, about how, you know, y'all knew.
Mm-hmm.
So the Dahomey tribe was a very well-established kingdom, and they made a lot of money from selling our people into slavery. But they got a lot of backlash by saying that, you know, they whitewashed it. The movie whitewashed that part of history. But I don't understand why they're saying that they whitewashed it.
Because they saw a trailer. Everybody always have something to say from the 2-minute trailer. The trailer is meant to get you excited, to get you interested. Mm-hmm. It's supposed to show the big scenes because that is what they need them to get you in.
Mm-hmm.
It's
the feeler. It's
right, yeah. It's to be like, oh, because as soon as we saw that trailer for Black Panther 2, we all was crying.
And everybody was on one accord. We was like, what
right. What are you wearing?
What we wearing?
Exactly.
What you wearing, sis? Yeah.
So it did what it was supposed to. They can't go into details in the trailer because they need you to come and see it. And then when you come and see it, then you'll see the entire story. This is the thing I get upset about. We talk about representation all the time, whether it's in film, whether it's in TV. We talk about we need to see us, we need to see us. Now, here's a movie that was produced by a Black couple. It stars darker skinned black women. It is also directed by a Black woman.
Sister Gina. Mm-hmm.
So maybe before we have something to say, we should go and support it, because the 19 million that they made the first weekend,
yes, top US box office,
just made it easier for the next Black movie.
Yeah.
So I just need everybody to chill out. You know,
they topped the US box office for their opening weekend, which is huge. It wasn't a comedy. Easier. It wasn't a comedy. It wasn't a, action film like that. You know what I mean? It wasn't a Disney. It wasn't a Marvel, a movie. Right. That's big.
Right.
it just shows how dope we are. Not for nothing. Like I just be thinking about it, and it's just like how we just come in and just run and take over. Like, and that's why they hate.
If you're given the opportunity,
right?
If you're given the backing to if we had the resources,
like banana.
And think about Viola. She's not one of the highest paid actresses. She still has to pay her dues, and she won an Oscar. But she still has to fight because of her skin, because she's Black, because she's she's female, you know. So it's just like, what we don't need is our own to then say, well, this is not accurate, and you haven't even
gone to see it.
It's like, stop it.
And I think that's one of the things that bothers me so much with us. Because especially with something of this magnitude, this is not a shake your tail feather. This is not a twerking contest. This is not this is nothing like meet me outside, how about that? This is nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? This is something substantive. This is something historical. This is something to show, like, I'm sure there's a whole bunch of people that had no idea that there was a whole group of that. Female I'm sure army. That, yeah, a whole female army that Ryan Coogler used the Dora Milaje.
Oh yeah.
You know that's where he got the Dora Milaje
idea from.
I'm sure that people had no idea that there was a whole kingdom that was involved in selling their own people for guns and for ammunition. You know what I'm saying? And granted, it is a very hard story to tell, but it's a story that is our story nonetheless, that we need to know
and tell.
And it brings me back to the situation that happened with Nate Parker and the Birth of a Nation movie. And what happened with that pissed me off so much. It pissed me off so much because I feel like it should not have happened, because when he did any other movie before that, he didn't have none of that friction.
Nobody said anything.
But as soon as he tried to put out this Birth of a Nation movie about Nat Turner, then all of a sudden, our people started campaigning all over the Black media outlets, saying boycott the movie because he was accused of rape when he was in college, and he doesn't respect women, and he is a predator with women. But this story wasn't new. He was accused and acquitted. It had been out, and he had put out movies way before then. And nobody had there was no fanfare, nothing about no other movies. But as soon as he's putting out the movie about Nat Turner, then all of a sudden, here go us.
Yeah, the two woke crew, as I call them.
I was like, shut up. Like, shut up. Like, were you there? Like, if you're going to put him back on trial that he was acquitted for this particular assault,
it's crazy.
Then you take him to trial on that. But you support this movie. Because I don't know how Nat Turner and him like, I was just like, this is like, who's paying you?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody. You doing this all by yourself, sis? You don't remember when Roland Martin was on TV1 and he had the whole, like, it was, I was like, what's going on? I was upset because it's always us who's screaming the loudest.
It's like we pick and choose. You know, like, oh, okay, well, I'll speak now on this, and it's just like, go and support the woman king to make it easier for the next movie to be made.
And for the fact that they're actually doing the stunts most of the movie.
Yes, they did that training for hours a day. Like that alone.
That's also
made me want to go see it.
I want to see you. I want to see you, Vi. I want to see you, Vi.
He is 56. They filmed it in South Africa. It's just
shout out to SA.
Like, come on.
And it got 95% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is almost unheard of.
Everyone who has seen it said it's great.
Yeah, everybody said it was great. I need to go see it.
Everybody says it's great. So it's like, stop it.
So all of y'all other
again, y'all
naysayers,
no friends. Like,
none of y'all got friends. If y'all talk about his whitewashed,
y'all got too much time on your hands.
You and the people that don't like
the Little Mermaid,
Halle being in the Little Mermaid. Y'all get together and y'all form a coalition. Y'all form a coalition, and maybe y'all can get together and y'all can, you know. But as for it, just shut up. Shut up. Last but not least,
oh Lord,
Gucci Prada Fendi. Gucci Prada Fendi. Gucci Prada Fendi.
Tags. Pop them tags.
Your man, Pastor Bishop.
What's his name? Whitehead,
Lamor, Bishop Lamor Whitehead got arrested. He was cuffed and released 2 hours later. Let me tell you something.
Gave a statement outside of the precinct.
I don't know if this man just really wants to be a celebrity.
Obviously.
Well, yeah.
Obviously.
I do know. Yes.
Obviously. Right. He that's what he wants.
He missed his calling. He used the pulpit to get behind the podium to get his award, and the award goes to Lamor. Yeah, there you go. Lamor Whitehead. Where my here go. Here, remember my number one here.
Oh yeah.
And the award goes to Lamor Whitehead for he's number one.
Oh my God,
that's an inside joke. We got that. We got that.
I was like, why y'all?
We went on a sibling trip a few months back.
Oh.
Okay. Wow. So, according to the Daily News, Brooklyn Bishop Lamor Whitehead was handcuffed Sunday afternoon after a sermon in which he grabbed a woman who he believed was a threat to his family, only to be released by police about 2 hours later. They locked me up in front of my children, in front of my wife, in front of my church, Whitehead told the Daily News hours after his release. They publicly embarrassed me, and then they dropped all the charges after 2 hours and apologized to me.
Read.
Whitehead was preaching at Leaders of Tomorrow International Ministry on Remsen Avenue near Avenue D. We all know where that is. In Canarsie on Sunday, when two women walked into the church in the middle of his sermon, he said. Whitehead, who was robbed at gunpoint during a sermon.
You still ain't get security?
He still ain't get security. That's the problem.
After you were robbed,
Security.
Okay.
But you have enough money.
I'm sorry.
To have on a full Dior suit. To have on a full-on Dior suit.
I really would.
Why you got like 20 members in your congregation?
I would really like to go.
To the church, right?
Yeah, I said, who is in
the church
congregation?
No,
like,
me too. I want to see who his members are.
No, we should go.
We might see somebody we know. We might see some people we know.
I was
walk and be like, how you doing? All right.
I was saying, I was like, maybe I should go on Sunday, but I don't know. I was just like trying to see.
I really want to go on Sunday.
They might know us.
I'd be like, who is in here? Who is his congregation?
Oh. So he said, Whitehead, who was robbed at gunpoint during a sermon over the summer, said the woman entered the same way it happened when my church got robbed. I was almost done with my preaching, and these two young ladies came in and sat in the back. You want to come preach? Come on up here. Whitehead was heard saying to one of the women who was off camera during a social media live stream, I'm going to make you famous. So within moments of calling out the women, at least one of them started screaming. The bishop then moved off the camera and walked into the crowd, telling someone to move her out of here. Upon walking back to the front of the church, he spotted one of the women coming toward him. He said, she came in the middle of the aisle and just started cussing me out, calling me all types of names, calling me all types of things, Whitehead said. She came back, storming toward my wife with my 10-month-old baby, he continued. She went toward my wife, and that's when I grabbed her. I grabbed her and took her out my church. All I could remember was the guys with the guns who put their gun in my baby's face.
Now, funny thing, if I was to have that moment being robbed and everything, maybe I wouldn't be going to that church for a while. I'll be so triggered and be like, you know what? I'm going to just step back. It's a lot going on. And just have...
Or you have the finances,
it's security,
to hire security. Because
in my church, in one of my former churches, we had armed security.
My church is a mega church up in Harlem, and they have security.
Because it's sad to say, but you do have people who know that the church takes in them an offering, and they think that that's a time to attack. But so that's why the church has people there to stop that from actually happening. So the fact that his church was robbed, and now this woman was allowed to get that close.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just like, are you asking for these things to like happen? Are you making these things appear to, oh, look what happened to me again? And it's just like, God takes care of
babies and
fools.
And he ain't no baby. I mean, his 10-month-old is a baby, but he ain't no baby.
It's just you got to think smart, bro. You're not.
Well, obviously, he not.
Like you got like. It's just. I don't.
The Bible says, "He that winneth souls is wise."
They put me in cuffs, and I told them I wasn't getting in, and they grabbed me and picked me up and put me in the car. There were a lot of little kids in the church that are frightened now.
Resist
again.
Arrest.
All the little babies in the church saw me get arrested. The ones that look up to me. If I was a rabbi or a Catholic priest, that wouldn't have happened.
Your church is in the hood, bruh. It's like,
and you broadcast.
And
no, he said that if he was a rabbi or a priest, they would not have arrested him. They would not have put him in cuffs.
They didn't wear Fendi and Gucci Prada Fendi.
And they don't have the tags.
They would have never have done this.
Not saying it's right. We're not saying that.
Of course not. But
it's like, bruh.
We have been to.
He said they were some wannabe up and coming bloggers. They came to church to disrupt my service.
I wonder what the sermon was.
But the thing about it is, you have enough money, and a Dior suit ain't no easy win.
Nope.
That suit you could have wore
Brooks Brothers.
You could have wore a Brooks Brothers suit and used the rest of that money and hired somebody for the day to be your security.
Especially if somebody was pointing a gun in your child's face.
That
because the safety of your congregants and especially your wife and child
should be number one on the list.
And if you're such a good or known pastor, so you could get NYPD, an officer to sit outside of your place.
Because they do that.
They do that.
And he said that one of the ministers recognized the young ladies that came in when they came in. So is it me or I'm putting two and two together and I'm getting 73? Something ain't adding up.
The only time I ever hear of him is when there's issues. I don't hear about him when they're talking about what he's done in
the community
at all. I hear about tons of other churches.
Shout out to all of the bishops and pastors that's out there doing the work for the community and actually making a difference in people's lives. Yes. Shout out to y'all.
Especially
because they are y'all in Brooklyn, especially in Brooklyn, because there are some of y'all that are actually doing the work.
Yes.
I can name a few.
Brooklyn, the Brooklyn church circuit still has my heart.
I'll always be a part of that.
I will always be a Brooklyn church girl.
Yep.
But you know what? I don't think he's learned his lesson, and I don't think that he will until his name is called to come across the stage to accept his Emmy, his Oscar, or his Golden Globe.
I said this on a previous show. The fact that he challenged D.L. Hughley to a celebrity boxing match. And D.L. said, well, what celebrity are you gonna get to box for you? Just goes to show where his
like he not on Jamal Bryant's status. He not on T.D. Jakes status. He not on A.R. Bernard status.
He ain't on Hezekiah Walker status.
Hezekiah Walker status.
Boy, bye.
Nigga.
You
The
understand?
only reason why niggas know you is because you got robbed. Like, that's your claim to fame?
Look, I was never asked to sing at your church.
No, you know? We only know you because you got robbed.
And that was this year.
Yes.
A couple of months ago.
Well, no,
in July.
His name was in, I forgot who was it that was killed, and he came to
The Goldman Sachs researcher.
Yeah.
And that's only because it's in the article that I was reading from the Daily News. That's the only reason why I know.
That was, but again, it wasn't about his work.
It wasn't about his work in the ministry.
In the community. It was about his suit. It was about his car. So it's just like
like, dude, do better. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Lamor. I can't even call you Bishop. I can't even call you Bishop Lamor. And then he got the nerve. His church got the nerve to say that it is the international. And you know that's one thing I can't stand. The Leaders of Tomorrow International Ministry. Where's his other churches? Because you know a bishop means that you have churches all over.
Yes, that is true.
So where's your other churches, boo? And if you're a bishop, your other churches that couldn't put in a love offering to put in for security? You a bishop. You're a bishop.
It's a storefront church.
It looked like it's a storefront church.
Storefront church. That got 20 other churches on the same block.
You're a bishop. Come on, we know the church church hierarchy.
Like we was born in it.
We was born into it. We ain't new to this. We true to this. That, and you say you're international. That means you say you have churches all over the globe. Let's look up their website.
I knew that.
Now we gonna be petty. Leaders of Tomorrow International Ministries.
Take me to the water.
Take me to the water.
To be baptized.
It say they got a Brooklyn campus and a Queens campus. It say they got a Brooklyn campus and a Queens campus.
What's the member amount in each of those?
Ain't got no amount.
He probably means international because the people are from international countries.
That is true, because you know Brooklyn is a melting pot of.
That's what
Brooklyn is the West Indies.
West Indies.
That's what I'm thinking.
Even if you're not West Indian, and if you live in Brooklyn, you're West Indian. Even if you're not, you still are.
That's what I'm thinking. That.
You know what? I'm not going to do this. This is the most low budgetest. You know, I'm not going to do this.
You know what? We're going to pray for you.
Yeah.
That's all we can do.
We can do.
That's all we can do is just pray.
You got a low budget website and you got a Dior suit on? You couldn't even have a custom hyperlink to your YouTube?
Just let it go, Kai.
That's what I
said. B.
We just gonna pray about it.
Nah, B. Anyway, Lamor, you need to have Lamor security in your
some more.
You need to have Lamor security in your services to avoid any of this from happening in the future.
Since you're a celebrity and all,
since you're a celebrity consort. Anyway, I'm gonna stop being petty No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Really?
I still got a little more in me. I got a little more in me. All right now. Anyway, so I want to thank everybody for joining this episode of Between Sisters. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. As always, we want to know your thoughts about Little Mermaid, Woman King, Little King, and if you have more comments, let us know about Bishop Whitehead. Anyway, until next time, thank you to EVE, Shanah Dawn. Shout out to Keisha Keish and Cho Lobby. We love
what
all
kind of heart
you.
was that?
It was a Lamor heart.
Lamor heart.
I swear this is the
Can't get right. That was that type of
Good night. Wait, well, how Halle end her song? Yes, a part of that. Yeah, we want to be a part of your world. Till next time.